Yo, the critical damage is insane whenever I do this. And now let's see the numbers. Let's go. Alright guys, the build I'm about to show you will instantly increase your weapon power. Whatever you want to call it, you will be stronger as soon as you have this mod right there. So it is called the Backdraft. Flame zone absorption significantly increases weak point damage and firearm attack instead of skill power. I'll show you right there. So I will remove it. This is what you use usually, right? You take all your flame zone back to you. So you're gonna get MP recovery amount per flame zone, so 19, skill power modifier increase, and duration for 10 seconds. So basically for 10 seconds, you're gonna have more skill power. So any other skill that you use will be stronger for 23%, and you will also recover your MP with how many zones flames you just got. So if it was 3, you would do 19 times 3, and this is the amount of MP that you would recover, right? But now whenever you add the new mod, this one right here, it changes everything. So let me save. So same thing, you still get MP recovery amount per flame zone, so 19 times 3, but now we add more stuff here. So your skill power doesn't increase anymore, but instead your weak point damage increases per flame zone, and your firearm attack increases as well. So I think this changes Blair completely, because if you're like me and your weapons are really good, or you are more of a shooter guy, you will love this build. So I also use Fire Master. This is strictly for powers, skill power plus 44 and skill power plus 19. I use emergency measure as well, skill critical hit rate 64, skill critical hit damage 27. At this moment I use this one. I'm probably gonna change it, but I don't have any more space, so this one was fitting perfectly. When shield is at 0%, defense plus 32. I also have skill critical hit damage 115. This is a lot of skill damage, and this one is the same thing, but this is hit rate 115 as well, and more defense. So basically I only count on those 3 mods right here plus my weapons. The rest is only defense and buffs. So if I show you my stats real quick, with this build you will have skill critical hit rate 56%. That's a lot. Most of the time you will do skilled critical hit damage. That's on my weapon. This is what I use for this moment. So I have firearm critical hit damage, I have action on reaction, I have better concentration, so this is more hit damage. This one is firearm attack. I will tell you why you need a lot of firearm attack, or actually why this build is around firearm attack. We have more firearm critical hit rate and firearm critical hit damage, so this is 2 and 1. We have rounds per magazine, so this will add a lot of bullets. So let me show you. If ever you do this, so now we have 38 bullets instead of having 26, if I'm not wrong. We have more firearm critical hit rate plus 40, and finally we have our weak point damage, because we need that as well, plus 40 weak point damage and plus 35. You don't need to use both, but if you want to have the exact same build as me, you're going to want to use both. This will do a lot of damage whenever you hit the weak point. And then we have fire rate plus 20, and we have firearm critical hit damage plus 6.5. And finally we have when attacking enemies inflicted with burn, which is all the time because we use Blair, firearm attack plus 13.1. I'm still trying to max this out. Whenever it is fully out, I think this will be insane. So the reason why we need a lot of firearm attack is because if we want to have a weak point damage and critical hit damage, those two stats are based off our firearm attack. That's why we need this number right here, the first one. It needs to be really high, because the higher it is, the stronger your critical hit damage and weak point will be. So this was my Thunder Cage, and now my Python. This one is also interesting. Personally, I think I prefer my Python, even though my Thunder Cage is a little bit stronger. Mostly it is a toxic weapon. I use it on multiple builds, so that's why you will see there's a lot of toxic mods, but it still do the job because this is a weak point weapon, literally. So in case you guys do not know, the Python, what it does is it will debuff a lot of stuff out of the enemy. So it will debuff their non-attribute resistance, and it will also debuff their poison resistance. So I have toxic enhancement. This will, as toxic attack equals to 30% of firearm attack. So you will see I'm trying to get a lot of firearm attack out of this build as well. We have firearm critical hit rate plus 14%, weak point damage plus 2. So here I will try to look for a lot of weak point. Same thing here, firearm critical hit damage plus 35, but also the weak point damage plus 2. Here we have the fire rate plus 20% and the weak point damage plus 2. Here we have strictly firearm attack similar to the Thunder Cage. Here we have strictly firearm attack plus 32, weak point damage plus 35. I showed you this one. Same thing here. This will add a lot of bullets. So now we have 44 bullets. That's a lot of bullets, but this weapon shoots so fast that you will see that 44 is not even enough. Sometimes you need 100 literally. That's how I feel. Next, we have more weak point damage plus 40. Those two will do the weak point damage. And finally, we have Toxic Conductor. This is similar to the fire one I just showed you on my Thunder Cage, but this one is when attacking enemies inflicted with poison, firearm attacks plus 26. So the more I will shoot poison enemies, the more I will have firearm attacks, which will lead into more weak point damage and critical hit damage. But for this build, I'm not going for the critical hit damage. I'm only going for the weak point damage. This will add toxic attacks, which will lead to more poisoned enemy. What else? I also have on my weapon, so you see toxic attacks at the bottom. This will also add toxic to my enemies. And now with the Blair build that I just showed you, this one right here, this will increase weak point damage. And you saw on both my weapons that was the focus and firearm attack instead of skill power. So more firearm attack, which will lead in more power of critical hit damage and weak point. So this is what the build is all around. And look at my mods. I don't even have much. I did use one energy activator once, but no crystallization at all. And this build works perfectly. Okay, so now I will show what it looks like in game. So personally, I prefer my Python build, even though my Thunder Cage is probably stronger. Personally, you will see why this weapon is so satisfying. Oh, this is the wrong one. Okay, this is it. So now let's only look for the yellow numbers, only to the head. So 51,000 weak point. So the yellow numbers are weak point, and let's see the orange one, if I can get one. Come on. Okay, 26,000 orange. So 26,000 for the critical hit damage and 51,000 weak point. So again, you see. So now let's do it the right way. So 1, 2, 3. I'll take them back. And now let's see the numbers. So 62,000 now yellow numbers, and the orange one. Wait, I'm only healing for the head right now. Yeah, I was only hitting the heads, that's why we couldn't see the critical hit damage, which are the orange one. But the yellow one, the weak point now is 62,000. That is really good. So we'll test that out here as well. I don't like these enemies, so be gone. Be gone. I'm waiting for I'm waiting for them. Okay. So same thing here. 51,000 to them. And let me see those one. Okay, we'll do it on them. Okay, let me see. 32. Yeah, 33 to 32. And 17,000 for critical hit damage. The reason why now the numbers are lower is because those guys, they have a lot of defense. So now we'll test that out. So 3. I will recover my flame. And now look. 39 and... No, actually 43. 43 and 68 now. That is just insane numbers. Imagine hitting above 60,000 damage per bullet. That is insane. So let me just finish them up. So guys, I think this Blair build is really interesting. If you want to have instant pure power right away, I think you should try and go for it. Blair is not really hard to get. I think if you try your best to grind everything that you need to get this character and this build, you will be able to do it. It's really easy. It's not that complicated. Now let's head towards the boss. You will see what it looks like against someone really strong. Keep in mind, this boss right here is, in my opinion, one of the hardest out of all the reactor one. So this is where I am at right now. I'm doing avoid fusion react. I think this boss is not bad at all. He has a lot of health, really powerful attacks, and he's weak against electric attacks, not fire, but I will still do the job with Blair. Now let's do it. Okay, now I will show you what it looks like. So I will first I will shoot him without doing my abilities. So whenever I hit critical hit, the orange number 48,000 and the yellow numbers is 19,000, right? Now I'm just gonna place 3 flame zone. I will take them back, and now look at my orange numbers. 53,000, 59. No, let me see. 53. And the yellow numbers are not 25,000. Okay, and I will also show you with my weak point build on my Python. Same thing here. So actually I will have to shoot him first before taking my flame. So look, 22 and 41. Now I will take my flame. Okay. So now I have 22 and 48,000. So this is how you can boost your power instantly with Blair. And now let's finish that guy. Bow. Yo, that's really satisfying. This weapon is so satisfying. Nice. I just got a crystallization. Nice. So guys, what's really nice with Blair is that all his ability matches perfectly together. So either you have a lot of power with your weapons, or you have a lot of powers with your skill. You are the one who decides. Power. No. Yo, the critical damage is insane whenever I do this. And keep in mind, guys, this boss right here, he has a lot of health. Okay, good. And now with my Python, look at it. Look at all the yellow numbers. But you need to make sure you hit the weak points, otherwise it won't work. So you need to aim strictly for the head. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm taking all my flame. I'm sorry. You get out of here. Let's go. Well guys, that's pretty much it. This is my Blair build. This is the Backdraft one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment sections below if you have any question. That being said, peace.